G'day, legends. Jack D. Dingo here. Pull up a stump, grab a cold one, and let the fire warm your bones. Tonight, we're not just telling tales. We're digging deep into the very dirt beneath our feet, into secrets so old they predate the gum trees and the red dust itself. We're talking about the whispers of lost cities, mate, right here in our own backyard, the vast, ancient heart of Australia. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Lost cities, in the Outback? Jack, you've been out in the sun too long. But hear me out, because the more you listen, the more you'll feel that prickle on the back of your neck, that sense that there's more to this land than meets the eye. This ain't just a yarn. It's a journey into the forgotten past of a continent that's been keeping its biggest secrets buried deep. For generations, the mainstream story of Australia has been a short one, starting with Captain Cook and a few sheep. But that's like looking at the tip of an iceberg and thinking you've seen the whole thing. Beneath the surface, beneath the endless plains and the rugged ranges, lies a history so rich, so complex, it'd make your head spin. The Aboriginal people, the true custodians of this land, have always known this. Their dreaming stories, passed down through countless generations, speak of powerful beings, intricate societies, and a deep connection to every rock, every river, every star in the sky. These aren't just myths for entertainment, they're living maps, ancient encyclopedias, telling tales of a time when this land hummed with a different kind of life, a life that built and thrived in ways we're only just beginning to comprehend. Imagine, if you will, a time when the Outback wasn't just a harsh, empty expanse, but a vibrant tapestry of communities, interconnected by ancient pathways, sharing knowledge and resources. The sheer scale of Aboriginal land management, their sophisticated understanding of water systems, and their astronomical observations were far beyond what many experts once believed. They didn't just survive in this land, they shaped it, nurtured it, and lived in harmony with its rhythms for tens of thousands of years. And with such advanced knowledge and complex social structures, is it really so far-fetched to think they might have built more than just temporary camps? What if some of those gathering places the elders speak of were, in fact, something far grander, something more permanent, something that time and the elements have slowly swallowed whole? The idea of lost cities in Australia might sound like something out of an Indiana Jones flick, but the evidence is slowly, steadily bubbling to the surface. Archaeologists, once dismissive of such notions, are now unearthing findings that challenge everything we thought we knew. We're talking about stone arrangements that are too precise to be natural, massive formations aligned with celestial events, and even hints of ancient irrigation systems that speak of a settled agricultural past. These aren't isolated incidents. They're pieces of a much larger puzzle, scattered across the continent, each one a silent testament to a forgotten era. It's like the land itself is finally ready to reveal its deepest secrets, one stone, one whisper at a time. Take, for instance, the whispers of megalithic structures, huge carved stones positioned with purpose long before any European foot touched this soil. These aren't just random rocks in a paddock, mate. They're monuments, perhaps even remnants of ancient urban centers, built by hands that understood engineering and astronomy in ways we're only just rediscovering. And when you couple that with the incredible complexity of Aboriginal rock art, some of it dating back over 50,000 years, depicting symbols and narratives that still baffle modern scholars, you start to see a picture emerge that's far richer and more mysterious than any history book has dared to paint. It's a riddle wrapped in sandstone, a story etched into the very fabric of the land, waiting for us to truly listen. So as we sit here under the vast, star-studded sky, with the crackle of the fire as our only companion, I want you to open your mind to the possibility. What if the true history of Australia is not one of a primitive past, but of a sophisticated ancient civilization that thrived and then, for reasons unknown, faded into the shadows, leaving behind only echoes and whispers? This isn't just about rewriting history. It's about understanding the incredible resilience and ingenuity of the people who walked this land before us. It's about recognizing that the Outback, in its silent majesty, holds stories that could change our understanding of humanity itself. And trust me, mate, this is just the beginning of our journey into the heart of these Outback Confessions. Stick around, because the desert's got a lot more to say. Last time we talked about the whispers, the gut feelings, the ancient stories that hint at something far grander beneath the Australian soil. Tonight, we're going to dig a little deeper, mate, and look at the hard evidence, the stuff that's making even the most skeptical academics scratch their heads. Because what's coming out of the ground, piece by painstaking piece, is starting to paint a picture that rewrites the very first chapter of human history on this continent. It's a story of ingenuity, adaptation, and a level of sophistication that most folks never imagined existed in ancient Australia. One of the most compelling pieces of this puzzle comes from a place called Budj Bim in Victoria. For years, it was just a quiet landscape, but beneath the surface, the Gunditjmara people had built an aquaculture system that's nothing short of an engineering marvel. We're talking about a vast network of stone channels, weirs and dams designed to trap and farm eels. This system is over 6,600 years old, making it older than the pyramids of Egypt, older than Stonehenge, and older than most of the Roman aqueducts. It's a testament to a settled, complex society that managed its resources with incredible foresight and skill. This wasn't just a few blokes fishing with spears. This was a sophisticated food production system that supported a large population for thousands of years. And if they built something like this, what else did they build that's still hidden? Then there's the sheer age of human occupation here. Recent archaeological digs in places like Budj Bim in Arnhem Land have pushed back the timeline of human presence in Australia to an astonishing 65,000 years. That's not just a few thousand years, that's tens of thousands of years before the accepted dates for many other major human migrations. And with that kind of deep time comes the potential for incredible development. We're finding stone tools that aren't just crude implements, but refined, specialized tools that show a deep understanding of materials and craftsmanship. These aren't the tools of simple nomads. They're the tools of people who are mastering their environment, innovating and building a complex culture. And it's not just about tools and aquaculture. The rock art across Australia, particularly in places like the Kimberley and Arnhem Land, tells its own story. Some of these galleries stretch back over 50,000 years, depicting not just animals and hunting scenes, but intricate narratives, spiritual beings, and even what appear to be astronomical observations. The sheer volume and complexity of this art suggest a vibrant intellectual and spiritual life, a society with the time and capacity for artistic expression and the transmission of complex knowledge. It's a visual record of a continuous culture, a living history etched into the very rock of the land, waiting for us to decipher its deeper meanings. But the real game-changer, mate, is the technology we're now using. Ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR, and satellite imagery are allowing us to see beneath the surface without disturbing a single grain of sand. And what they're revealing is fascinating. Anomalies, geometric patterns, and buried structures that don't fit natural formations are popping up in unexpected places. These aren't definitive proof of sprawling cities yet, but they are strong indicators of human activity on a scale previously unacknowledged. It's like the land is finally giving up its secrets, one faint signal at a time, showing us that there's much more to uncover than we ever dared to dream. So as the embers glow and the stars shine down, remember this: the Outback isn't just a silent witness to history, it's a living archive. The evidence is there, etched in stone, buried in the earth, and whispered in the ancient stories. It challenges us to rethink our assumptions, to open our minds to the possibility that Australia holds keys to understanding not just its own past, but the broader story of humanity. And this, my friends, is just the beginning of what we're unearthing. There's more to come, so keep your ears open and your spirit curious. The Outback always has another secret to share. All right, mates, the fire's still crackling and the stars are putting on a show. Last time, we peered into the hard evidence, the stone and the tools that scream of a sophisticated past. But now, we gotta tackle something head-on: the myths. For too long, the story of ancient Australia has been painted with a broad, dismissive brush. A land of simple nomads, hunter-gatherers, with no complex societies, no grand structures. That's the yarn many of us grew up with, eh? But I'm here to tell you, that narrative is as dusty and outdated as a pair of old work boots. It's a myth born of ignorance, a refusal to see the incredible depth and ingenuity that thrived on this continent for millennia. It's time to debunk those old tales and let the real history shine through, because the truth is far more captivating than any fiction. This old way of thinking, that Aboriginal people were primitive, it's a relic of a time when Western science couldn't fathom complexity outside its own narrow definitions. They looked for cities of stone and steel, like those in Europe or the Middle East, and when they didn't find them, they concluded there was nothing. But they were looking for the wrong thing, in the wrong way. The sophistication of Aboriginal societies wasn't always etched in monumental architecture, but in their profound understanding of the land, their intricate social structures, their sustainable practices, and their deep spiritual connection to every living thing. Their cities might have been dynamic, moving with the seasons, but they were no less complex, no less organized than any fixed settlement. The challenge now is to shed those old biases and truly listen to what the land and its original custodians have been telling us all along. And that's where modern science is finally catching up with the dreaming. We're talking about cutting-edge technology, mate, not just blokes with shovels. Ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR, light detection and ranging, and advanced satellite imaging are letting us peer beneath the surface without disturbing sacred sites. These tools are revealing anomalies, geometric patterns, and subsurface structures that simply can't be explained by natural processes. Imagine a hidden network of ancient pathways, or the faint outlines of long-abandoned ceremonial grounds, all waiting to be rediscovered. It's like the land itself is finally giving up its secrets, responding to the respectful curiosity of those who are willing to look beyond the obvious. Take, for example, the ongoing research in places like Arnhem Land and the Pilbara. Scientists are working hand in hand with Aboriginal elders, combining traditional knowledge with modern techniques. The elders point to areas where stories speak of ancient gatherings, of significant places, and the technology confirms their insights, revealing patterns that suggest human modification of the landscape on a scale previously unimaginable. It's a beautiful collaboration, mate, a true meeting of minds and cultures, proving that the oldest knowledge can illuminate the newest discoveries. This interdisciplinary approach is crucial because without the guidance of the traditional owners, we'd just be blundering around in the dark, missing the true significance of what we're finding. But it's not just about finding physical structures. It's about re-evaluating the entire timeline of human activity in Australia. If people have been here for 65,000 years, adapting and thriving in one of the harshest environments on Earth, then their societies must have been incredibly resilient and innovative. We're talking about a continuous culture that survived ice ages, dramatic climate shifts, and countless generations, all while developing complex spiritual beliefs, sophisticated social laws, and a deep scientific understanding of their environment. This isn't just a footnote in human history, it's a central chapter, one that demands our attention and respect. It forces us to question the very definition of civilization and to broaden our understanding of what human achievement truly looks like. So, as the night deepens and the fire settles into a steady glow, remember that the Outback is more than just a landscape. It's a living library, filled with stories waiting to be read. The myths of a primitive past are crumbling, replaced by the astonishing reality of ancient ingenuity and profound connection to country. We're on the cusp of a historical reckoning, mate, a moment where the whispers of the past are becoming a roar. And this journey, this Outback Confession, is just beginning to scratch the surface of what's truly hidden beneath the red dust. Keep your ears open, your mind curious, and your heart ready to be amazed. There's more to this story than meets the eye, and we're just getting started. As the fire crackles and the Southern Cross shines bright, we've journeyed deep into the heart of Australia's forgotten past. We've seen the evidence, debunked the myths, and started to understand the true sophistication of the ancient cultures that thrived here. But what does all this mean for us, mate, sitting here in the present? It means we're on the cusp of a historical reckoning, a moment where the old books are being rewritten, not with ink, but with the very dust and stone of this ancient land. The impact of these discoveries isn't just academic. It's profound, challenging our global understanding of human civilization and forcing us to reconsider where Australia truly stands in the grand narrative of humanity. For too long, the story of human development has been told through a Eurocentric lens, with the Fertile Crescent and the Mediterranean as the sole cradles of civilization. But the evidence emerging from Australia paints a different picture, one where complex societies, advanced engineering, and deep spiritual connections flourished independently, tens of thousands of years before many of the world's renowned ancient cultures even began. This isn't about one civilization being better than another. It's about expanding our understanding of human potential, of the diverse paths humanity has taken, and of the incredible resilience and adaptability of people in different environments. It's a powerful reminder that innovation and sophistication aren't confined to a single geographical location or a single historical timeline. But with this new understanding comes a weighty responsibility, especially when it comes to the future of exploration. Many of the sites where these incredible discoveries are being made are sacred to Aboriginal communities, places imbued with deep spiritual significance and ancestral memory. It's not just about digging up artifacts, it's about respecting living cultures, their traditions, and their custodianship of the land. Any future exploration, any further unearthing of these secrets must be done in true partnership with the traditional owners. It's their stories, their knowledge, and their land that hold the keys to unlocking these mysteries, and their voices must be at the forefront of any research or discovery. This isn't just an ethical consideration. It's a practical necessity, as their insights are invaluable to understanding the true context and meaning of these ancient sites. This collaborative approach is already yielding incredible results. Archaeologists, anthropologists, and other scientists are working side by side with Aboriginal elders and knowledge holders, combining cutting-edge technology with ancient wisdom. This isn't just about finding more evidence, it's about building bridges, fostering understanding, and healing the wounds of a past where Indigenous knowledge was often dismissed or ignored. It's about recognizing that the oldest continuous culture on Earth has lessons to teach us all, not just about survival in the Outback, but about sustainable living, deep connection to nature, and a holistic worldview that prioritizes harmony over conquest. This shared journey of discovery is enriching for everyone involved, creating a new narrative that is inclusive, respectful, and truly representative of Australia's deep history. The future of exploration in Australia isn't just about finding more lost cities. It's about redefining what discovery truly means. It's about listening to the land, understanding its ancient rhythms, and learning from the people who have been its custodians for millennia. It's about using technology not to dominate, but to illuminate, to reveal the hidden layers of history without destroying the sacred. It's about a future where science and spirituality walk hand in hand, where the pursuit of knowledge is balanced with profound respect for culture and country. Imagine the stories yet to be uncovered, the wisdom yet to be shared, as we continue to peel back the layers of time in this extraordinary land. So as the fire dies down to embers and the silence of the outback settles around us, I want you to carry this thought with you. The history of Australia is far from fully written. We are living in a time of incredible revelation, a time when the whispers of the past are growing louder, inviting us to listen, to learn, and to participate in the rewriting of a truly epic story. The Outback holds more secrets than we can possibly imagine, and with respect, collaboration, and an open mind, we're just beginning to understand its true depth. Keep your eyes on the horizon, mate, because the future of discovery in this ancient land is brighter than ever. And trust me, there's always another yarn to spin, another secret to uncover. Stick around because the Outback always has more confessions to share. All right then, lean in close, mate. Let me give you just a taste of what's coming next. As the fire starts to dwindle and the night air grows cool, we've been talking about lost cities, ancient wisdom, and the secrets buried deep beneath the red earth. But sometimes, the Outback holds mysteries that aren't just about what's hidden, but about what's heard. And out here, where the silence can be deafening, some sounds carry a power that'll rattle your very bones. It's a sound that's been whispered about for generations, a phenomenon that defies explanation, and a legend that's as old as the land itself. Get ready, because our next journey takes us to a place where the rocks sing. Not in the poetic sense, mind you. I mean literally, singing stones. High in the rugged ancient hills of the Pilbara, in a canyon so deep and secluded the sun barely touches its floor, there's a geological formation that the locals call the heartbeat of the land. And when the wind hits it just right, it doesn't just whistle or sigh, it hums. A deep, resonant, almost melodic tone that vibrates through the very ground beneath your feet. A sound so primal, it feels like you're standing inside a didgeridoo made by the earth herself. It's a sound that's both beautiful and unsettling. A constant, low thrum that seems to carry the weight of millennia within its vibrations. Now, some folks, the practical types, they'll tell you it's just the wind, the unique acoustics of the canyon, a natural phenomenon. And sure, there's a scientific explanation for everything eventually, but the old stories, the ones passed down through the dreaming, they speak of something far more profound. They speak of a doorway, not to another place, not a physical portal you can walk through, but a doorway to another time. A gateway to ancient knowledge, or perhaps even a connection to the spirits of those who walked this land long, long ago. It's a place where the veil between worlds feels thin, where the past isn't just remembered, but felt, heard, and almost touched. In our next episode of Outback Confessions, we're venturing deep into the velvet dark of Australia's wild interior. To a place where the walls glow like starlight and the air itself feels charged with magic. We're heading into the mysterious glowworm caves, where thousands of tiny bioluminescent creatures light up the stone like constellations trapped underground. We'll explore the strange biology that gives these glowworms their otherworldly power, a chemical dance of light and instinct honed over millions of years. But more than that, we'll dive into the stories. The dreaming speaks of spirit lights in the cave, signs of ancestors, or warnings from the earth itself. We'll meet the traditional custodians who know the truth behind the glow. Knowledge passed down through generations, rarely shared with outsiders. We'll also hear from the scientists who've studied these caves with microscopes and cameras, trying to measure the unmeasurable, that deep sense of wonder that hits you the moment you step inside. And maybe, just maybe, we'll come to understand why these caves are more than just beautiful. They're sacred spaces where life and light blur the line between natural and supernatural. This isn't just a yarn about some bugs that shine in the dark, mate. It's about how the earth creates beauty in silence, and how sometimes the smallest creatures carry the deepest meanings. It's about the power of darkness, and what can only be seen when all other lights go out. The glowworm caves challenge us to slow down, to feel the land breathe, and to witness a kind of magic that science can explain, but never fully contain. So don't wander too far, eh? Keep your torch low, your voice quiet, and your spirit open, because the bush is calling, and this time it glows. The legend of the glowworm caves is waiting, and it's a journey that'll leave a light inside you long after you've left the darkness behind. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and get ready for the next Outback Confession. Because out here, mate, even the shadows shine.